I don't think any person has the ability to discern what's true and what's not on social media. And there is no amount of research and there's no amount of digging that will ever make you privy to what's true and what's not. You just don't have enough time in the day to research this stuff. It is always taken as a matter of faith that I believe what this person is saying and who they're saying they are. I don't believe it. I think everything on the box is fiction. And I'm sure there's real stuff. I'm sure there's true stuff out there. But I have no ability to discern that because you don't know if this person is who they say they are. You don't know if they do what they say they do. All you know is a constant stream of bullshit is coming at you. And people just open their mouths and swallow it. This is not a good thing to open your heart to open your mind to. This is dangerous because all I see from social media is it pushing people further and further into their ideologies. It is never pulling someone out of an ideology. It is never making someone more temperate. It is always instability, chaos, madness, hatred. The hate. It's literally like the dark side of the force. But okay, no Star Wars talk. But the madness and hatred I have seen in the past year, and perhaps because it's an election year, things have been gone into like a hyper form. But when I listen to someone talk about how they interact on social media, they always say, I was talking to a person. I'm like, you weren't talking to anyone. And phrasing it like that is explicitly dishonest. You were typing on a screen and reading replies, which is very, very different than actually talking to another human being. Because the things people will type and the things people will say out of their mouths to you face to face are two completely different things. Because then they have to back up what they say. And most people just aren't willing to do that, so they never open their mouths to begin with. This is the danger of social media because it allows people to say things they would never normally say because they know they'd have to back it up in some way. And this is the only way I rate truth. This is the only way I rate an individual is by the actions they take. That's the only way I can tell who that person is by what actions they take, the outcomes of their life and the actions they take in their life. That is how I weigh someone. That is what makes up a person. That is what defines a person. Anyone can say anything. That does not make it so. In fact, it's absolute bullshit if they don't back it up. If I'm calling myself a samurai, does that make me a samurai? I'm not living under Bushido. Like, I would have to live under that. And I mean, arguably, that still wouldn't make me a samurai. But nevertheless, at least if I was living under the code of it, I could say, well, I back up the fact that I'm a samurai because I'm willing to fight you to the death right here, right now, over you calling me a liar. At least that would be something. I would back it up with my actions. But social media is not about that. Social media is the empty air of puppets. You don't know who you're talking to, and you will never know who you're talking to. It is a matter of faith. And every week, I see it pushing people further and further into ideology. I see it's just like the law. Everything on God's green earth is already against the law, but yet we still need more laws. Cram them on in. We need everything to be against the law. Everything's already against the law. Make it against the law twice. No one's ever taking away laws. And that's just like with social media. It's never making people more normal. It's never making people more temperate. It's always pushing them further and further into the madness. And that rightfully, I feel, makes me suspicious because the actions I see of the people social media affects, that is its action, how it affects people. And I see hatred come from them, rage come from them, resent, every negative thing you can name, I see coming from it. I can list you 5 people off the top of my head whose social media has ruined their fucking lives. I can't give you one person whose social media has been beneficial to. I don't know a soul who has been helped out by it, but I know all kinds of people who have had their lives fucked up by it. And everyone tells me you need to be on social media in today's world. To succeed in today's market, you need to be on social media. They sound like fucking heroin addicts to me, creating this ideology that you have to be behind this thing. If you don't do it, you can't. You can't get by without it. You have to be on it. Do I do I really? I cannot find success on the internet without social media. You have to do it. I don't accept that. I think those are the words of addicts addicted to something. And I think that is what dominates social media is the addiction to madness, to hatred. People become addicted to these sensory impulses. I'm not sure that's the correct term, even, but nevertheless, it's good enough for the point I'm making. I think people are addicted to it and they like the arguing and they like the fighting and they like finding out things first and they like being able to tell other people things, but they never know whether these things are true or bullshit because no one has the ability to tell everything. There's 1 or 2 things that you can look up and you can research and you can find out more about, but not all of it. And the passive absorption of information is what warps people's minds because it's the stuff you don't think about. It's the stuff you immerse yourself in that washes your brain. Take it for what it's worth, man.